How to Win Friends and Influence People, 6 ways to get people to like you. And we're on the 5th way, which is simply talk in terms of the other person's interest. Dale Carnegie shares about a student who simply was in the military and he retired and he was looking to maybe start a little bit of a career after his military service, but he retired in Maryland and he says there were very few jobs available. And so he did some homework and found out that several of the companies were owned or run by a particular gentleman who was a little bit hard to get to, a little hard to get to accessible wise. So he did some homework and he found out some things about this gentleman, that his success was driven a lot by power and money influence that he had. So he also found out that he had a gatekeeper for a secretary who was in charge of basically not letting people get to him because he was a hard gentleman to get with. So he said he did a little bit of homework on this lady. Then he went to visit her and he simply said, I have a proposition for your boss that I believe will make him some money. And then he said to her, I understand that you have been very instrumental in his success over the last 10 to 15 years. Well, that immediately impressed her. And so she set up the appointment. Then he walks into the gentleman's office when the appointment arrived. And he says, I believe, he says, first of all, he said, I walked in, it was a big office. And he said, what can I do for you? And he said, I believe I have a proposition that will make you money. Well, that interested him, so he sat down and they began to visit. And that approach, thinking in terms of the other person's interest, the secretary, the boss, he said, I worked for him for over 20 years and made both him and me a lot of money. My friends, when you want or need something, put that on a back burner and begin to think about what the other person wants, whether it's compliments, whatever it is, my friends. Everybody wants and needs something, but if you and I will think about their wants first, our wants will be fulfilled.